Hello guys, welcome back to another video. I'm your Radiant Coach, and today we're going to be doing some Kayo guides. On today's video we're going to be doing Ascent, so yeah, let's get right into it. So to start off with, I'm just going to be showing you like the basic sort of role of the agent, and he, in my opinion, will be the second out on the site if you don't have two duelists, so he'll be flashing out with the jet unless he's doing like a crazy support flash. And his util is really good on certain maps because it can counter a lot of sentinel utility just with his knife alone as it disables their abilities. So let's say, I don't know, Cypher's on site or whatever, right? Or like you have a Killjoy or something, you know, they're by Jenny, you can instantly just take down all their util and then you can go out on the site without having to worry about any of it, which is also really strong. He's also really good for just kind of taking space with his molly, and on defense he's good for delaying pushes, which is also very strong. And also his flashes are really good to peek off. Obviously, a little mistake I see people do is I see people left click flash a lot, when you could easily just kind of like right click flash off this wall and peek off it, and it'll be like super hard for them to dodge and should get you a free kill. There are some really strong flash lineups that I can show you in this video as well. I have quite a few for Ascent, so I'll be showing you all the ones I use on like a regular basis and explain how you can play off of them. So yeah, so you know, with your knife, it kind of depends how you want to play the rounds, where you throw it for A. Because if you want to see if you can spot someone pushing, you can simply just kind of throw it aiming like this. Or if you want to kind of get early, you can kind of just aim around here and just, you know, tag anything like close to a tree. Or if you want to support and you have someone walking up cat, you can kind of also knife in that corner and it gets everyone in like cubby and tree. Obviously you can do it a little bit further on the site. If you work out the physics of the knife, you can kind of get it on that crane and whatnot. But other than that, you can use it to try and like clear out certain angles, so you can throw it dice just on that box, and you can throw it kind of up here as well for dice and Jenny. I recommend kind of using it early if you don't have any other util to like sort of take a main. It's like, in my opinion, the perfect thing. Obviously, if you have ult, I always recommend using your ult no matter what. And if you want to be super effective with your ult, you can use it on the site where you know the sentinel is playing, so the util is down, and you never know, they might not know you have ult, they might not press tab to check, so you could easily get around from doing that, just based off their setup alone. And to be honest, the only real support flash like lineup I use is I kind of like stand right around here, and I like to aim just around this like cloud area, just on this tip, this cloud. You can kind of line it up with the edge of this like sort of brick dent, and you can just left click through, and it's gonna pop like really high onto site. It's gonna flash literally everything unless they're like sat here like this, but it pops like literally, is quite hard to dodge, and your jet can easily dash in off it. And if you pair that flash up with like, let's say a Sova dart around like here or something, your jet or your entry is going to be set up for a lot of success. Obviously, if you do want to play with your jet and this is smoked off, you can like drone dart or whatever, and then you can kind of like right click flush out the smoke as he dashes out, and then two of you can kind of entry together, and that is also a really strong like plan. Yeah, that's kind of how I would play A for post plant. This is where I like to use my molly mainly. Like if I like kind of play main, I don't really like to use lineups on Kayo, to be honest, because I feel like he's just so useful. If I have like a leftover flash and a molly, I can kind of just like jiggle peek like this. Now if it's planted on default, or if I want to delay their retake, I can kind of molly like this. Also kind of a bad molly actually, but just something like this maybe would be better. Yeah, something like that you can do. Obviously you can knife them as well if you want to save your knife for it, to like kind of halt their retake a little bit so they can't like use any of their util. And yeah, it's also kind of strong to like maintain a certain K to delay the retake, and you can also play good post plant. Like let's say it's planted here, you're in a 1v1, you hit the first tap, you kind of like jiggle, throw your molly down, and then after your molly's fully up, on the next tab, like you can kind of flash. Like I wouldn't like swing all the way, just in case he's not on it and he's playing anti, but you can definitely kind of jiggle peek and then you can really delay it out. If I'm all the way far back doing a KO lineup for this kind of spot, which I don't really use anyway, like I feel like it's just not very good, to be honest. I'm going to show you some B things and a few mid things as well, but that's kind of everything I would say you really need to know on KO and A. I do have one really broken flash actually that I can show you. If you get on this box, and you aim kind of around this region with your flash. I don't know how this works. I think it's like a one-way flash, but like as you can see, it doesn't flash you somehow, and you can easily like get a free kill off it. So sometimes people are prepared for that. It does take a long time to pop, so you could get punished if you do that. But one run you could try it. You never know, it might work. So yeah, for attacking on mid, this is where I'd say it's important to use your knife. You could play A main if you want to walk up cat and take tree and do that kind of knife. Yeah. I don't really recommend knifing this. I think it's a bit of a waste because not many people do play in these close angles. But I will show you one really good flash for market, and is if you're kind of like, you have to kind of be around here, and if you aim your flash just kind of like at the corner of this roof, sort of like along the edge of it, and then you like kind of walk forwards and throw, it like pops right at the door. So if you have a jet or a raise, they can easily dash off actually and off that flash and like get a lot of good impact. Obviously you have to be combing it so they know it's coming. And yeah, and then for this kind of place, I don't really recommend like having any crazy lineups. I have seen a few lineups for it, but I just recommend kind of just, you know, kind of right click flashing this and peeking off it, you know. I think you'll be fine just doing that. That's kind of really all I'd use for mid, to be honest. Like, that's the only flash you ever really need. Obviously, you can kind of put it a little bit higher like this and kind of walk forwards, maybe jump, throw, whatever, like kind of alter the positioning you can do. And if you kind of like aim at this, you can flash like all of early as well. If you just don't run forwards, this will flash like all the close left and right. Like, you can kind of make them like these lineups along as you go, to be honest. But yeah, that's kind of like the only things I really have for mid. So yeah, on to B. For B, it's a few flash lineups you could do. If you kind of aim around here, I believe it just goes through like the perfect corner of the window and it flashes all of early. Just this side. And this is the only flash I really like to do, to be honest. I have a few that I haven't really tried too much yet. I think this kind of works, if I'm not mistaken. That lands a little bit lower, just around here. And then, to be honest, you can like just kind of flash through this window and get all the sight, but I think that's a bit of a waste. Like, you could also do like a little flash like thing like that gets lane and like a little bit of sight, but it's a bit easy to dodge. But honestly, you don't even need too many flash lineups for this site. You can kind of just right click flash away on if you're alone or you're at the entry, or like that first flash I showed you could just literally be enough and you can save your other flash for the retake. It's kind of up to you. And for your molly, you can molly off CT or market. It's kind of up to you, or stairs. I kind of like to use it stairs a little bit to just kind of like trap people on site, just to guarantee the kill. But again, you have to calm every bit of util you do on K, because sometimes like you never know, you could flash your team or your jet might want to go stairs and you can molly him or something like that. And with your knife, a little lineup I like to do, and this is usually to kind of, you know, stop or cut out the killjoy util, because usually you'll kill, if you have a killjoy they'll be playing B. I kind of just play here and kind of aim around here and just throw, and it kind of goes perfectly through this window. Actually wait, I messed it up. I think it's a little bit like around here, maybe? Yeah, it's a little bit lower, and it lands kind of literally on this roof and it covers like everything on the site from boathouse or from my boat. So yeah, it's very, very easy, like a little lineup to do. Instantly to cut out any killjoy util unless they're literally playing back here. And yeah, that's everything for attack. On to defense. So if you're defending, you're most likely on K going to be playing around this mid area, so from trio around here. So a good support flash you could do, and this kind of pops by this window here, and it's impossible like to dodge. And if you have like a teammate peeking, it's not going to flash them because their back's going to be turned to it. It's just stand on this like left side of this doorway market, just literally aim just at the point of this roof and left click like this. And as you can see, it pops like literally in the middle of the window. So if you have a jet to like dash in off the flash, they're going to be getting like 3 guaranteed if, you know, they're not playing anti to it. So that's kind of a way I like to play KO. You can also just like knife really early, like somewhere just to see if you can spot an early push. You can knife a little bit deeper as well if you want. And then obviously you can use your like molly to delay. That's kind of how I would really go about holding a site on KO. You can kind of do the same thing on tree, you know, like you're playing here to spot them out early on A. You can kind of do this knife here, and then simply just throw them only in this doorway here to kind of like delay them walking out a little bit, or you can like kind of throw at the ground. And then like you kind of retreat up into heaven and play with your team, but then you've like instantly delayed a good 20 seconds off the round. That's kind of how I'd go about kind of playing on Kayo. I'll show you some support flashes for mid and A coming up now. I'm going to show you like every kind of mid flash I know. So the first one is, this is like a very aggressive flash, and I kind of just aim just kind of at the dirt on this thing and just left click, and I can line myself up with this doorknob here. Normal throw, and this is just to have someone fight off. It's a supported flash. You don't really peek with it. I mean, there's a few like ones you can do from just out of market if you want. Like any sort of flash around this region is gonna kind of pop to help a mid player or whatever, but I don't really think it's too worth it all the time. And there's a few things you can do from tree. You can kind of flash around here to help your team, like if they're fighting on site. And this flash, kind of around here, just aim between these two branches. This is an insane flash for mid. Literally takes everything, top mid, like link, even flashes like here. So this is like, in my opinion, the best Kayo flash on the map. You can also do it a little bit lower as well, just to switch it up. And as you can see by the way it pops, it's literally not going to be like it's going to be flashing everything. So you can kind of like switch up the variant or the variation of where the flash is going to be coming from. And a few retake flashes for A. I have a few for B, but you can kind of do one like just aim here and kind of, I think if you left click it should like be a good flash. I think it's like maybe a little running throw kind of thing. Kind of goes through the top. I need to work this one out. Yeah, just kind of like that. And if you're walking up, this is the best flash. I like to kind of aim kind of at this dark bit here. I just like to kind of walk forwards, and that basically kind of flashes everything, like hell included. So these are like some good retake flashes. Obviously if you have Kayo ult, I would use it for retaking mainly. And the reason for that is it just kind of stops any util they have for a post plant. So that's like the most effective way I find to use it. For B, like any sort of retake flash kind of around this area is good. Like a little running throw, gonna pop, flash everything on the site. You can also kind of aim by this light and just like do a little like throw, and I'll also get everything basically. Make people turn away as well, so you can kind of do that. You don't really need any crazy insane flash lineups. You can kind of just make them up on the fly for these kind of things. Obviously if you want to kind of peek off them yourself, you can kind of like, obviously you would turn away and flash yourself like I did. You can do that if you want to fight like the boathouse, or I like to call it backside, but it's boathouse on the map. Or like just something like this. I like to flash off walls as well. This is, I think it's a little bit easier to like pop a little bit faster. Now if it's like popping like literally on this corner, they're going to see it for a lot less time, and it's basically going to be impossible to dodge. Obviously as well, if you're really feeling it and you hear them, you can like kind of flash them. And you can do the same thing in main. Like you can flash peek early, maybe try and get a first blood for your team, play like a duelist. I don't recommend doing this too often though. I don't really have anything crazy thing. That will flash literally all of A main, and as you can see it literally popped right on the corner. It's like literally impossible to dodge. You can do like a flash like this and peek with it, so you can switch it up. Yeah, they're both super strong kind of ways to just take that early fight for your team. So yeah, so that will conclude this video. A few additional tips I can give you as well is you can also use like this util to fake certain pushes and make presents and things like that. I think I said this at the start of the video, but I will be doing 3 more maps on Kayo, as I like think those are good Kayo maps, which will be Sunset, Breeze and Icebox. I don't really think the other maps are good on Kayo. I've seen them get played on Bind and Split, but I just prefer other agents. I'll be doing some Gecko guides as well soon as well. I think I'm recording this about the time a Sky rollout should happen, and this was just after the update happened, so hopefully you can also find out how to play Sky. I still think she's a super good agent for ranked. Hopefully you did find those guys useful. Let me know what else you would like to see in the comments as well. I'm going to be doing some like raise guides, might do a couple neon and Yori guides too, and I'll be doing some general rank up tips and some aim and movement things too as well, so stay tuned for all of that, and peace, see you!